and we are live. People are going to be jumping in. You guys can't see this, but in the upper left-hand corner, there's some eyeballs and people are just popping in. But it is wonderful to be here again. Normally, what I do, He-Man, is I'll do some announcements and I'll step backstage. And then, of course, you're in amazing hands. Jennifer's going to take care of you, and you guys are going to go back and forth. Okay. So there are no eyeballs in here now, but it's okay. This is recorded, and I'll do some announcements. So, real quickly, tonight, 7 p.m., Get Creative Podcast. Pace will be actually talking about a subject matter that we were just mentioning, which is a Squat Up Summit. He'll be talking about it, going through some of his highs and lows. There were no lows, all highs. Okay. Just all highs. Pace had a great time. Pace was randomly hugging me out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, wow. That's nice for your employer to hug you. Thank you. That's nice. It was a great time, man. It was a great time. So he's going to be talking about that tonight on Get Creative. This Thursday, he's going to have like a spend the time with Pace day. It's going to be great. But that evening, I believe it's going to be held in Scottsdale. There's going to be a meetup. I believe that begins at 6 to 8 o'clock. And of course, for more information on that, go over to where'space.com for more information. Hey, Cody, thanks for jumping in, my brother. It's good to see you. So I'm going to give the floor to Jennifer. She's going to take care of you and be good.
Absolutely.
Hi, how's it going?
It's good, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So let's dive right into this deal. We are specifically talking about a foreclosure turn to pad split.
Yes. It was a foreclosure that actually had 140,000 plus in arrears. So that was one thing that was very, very different about this foreclosure. No payments were made since 2019, more so.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another obstacle to overcome for sure.
Yes.
So were you doing outreach for this or pulling a foreclosure list, or how did you get your hands on this lead?
So this lead actually came in from another community member from the Sub-2 community, Victor Balderas. And he actually referred somebody over that needed help with a lead that they had received. They just got into the wholesale business. They were not in the whole creative financing group at all, or even knew about Subject 2, but I was able to get that lead from her. And then we actually took this lead and began working it, not for 1 month, 2 months, but we actually began working it for, I want to say, about 6 months. So we opened title around September, around that time frame.
That is crazy. So walk us through like how you problem solved your way through that and how you were able to make money off of such a large debt still owing.
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things that we had to do was, of course, dealing with that whole deal and with that much arrears, we just had to find out exactly what happened. How did you get from here? So, it was just really just showing this newbie that came into wholesaling that got this lead. Hey, this is how we do it. This is how we're working it. We have to understand what's going on. Not only that, now we got to get in touch with the banks. And then it was more so letting the seller know and actually know that we're actually here to help them. I want to say that he went through about 4 or 5 different people walking in and out of his house saying that they can help him, And then unfortunately, they left him with no ideas of how to solve that problem. So what we did was we actually took this lead, began following down the steps. Hey, first of all, what are you actually trying to conquer? What are you trying to do? What's your objective? And he said, really, where I'm at, this house is just too big for me. I don't need it. It's too much. And where I'm at in my life, it just didn't make sense. So, of course, we started looking at it and we just began working with the lender when it was all said and done. And he actually allowed us to work on the lender after building that relationship and trust after time. And we began just networking and connecting with outside partners like Pam Clary and everybody else within the community to kind of, hey, what are some of the best ideas that we can do? And it was just, hey, we got to get in front of this lender.
Amazing. Yeah. It's so interesting, when it comes to foreclosures, sometimes there's like the roadblocks to the actual seller and them realizing that, this is the path they've created. But then, to have so many people coming in and out of your house trying to solve your problems, but I guess just were never really able to wrap their head around such a large debt. And how are they still going to make money while helping the owner, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things too was this home was sitting. It's been on the market multiple times. He couldn't sell it on the market at all. I mean, this guy was just he didn't know what to do, and it was what was the next best thing, possibly a foreclosure. Um,
Right.
but what happened was actually we got in there and we actually went back and forth helping this setter first of all with the modifications because initially he wanted to keep the home and go through that whole process of keeping it. But after a while, like I said, after everything was done, everything was complete. He just said, "Hey, this is not for us. That's not for him." Excuse me. And he just knew that he was just going to get more so head over heels if he would have continued. So home was had no furniture in it. It was just been vacant. He's paying the electricity. He's getting behind a mortgage. And we even found out that it was even a slab leak within. So it was just more issues on top of issues, and a hailstorm that just really came through as well. So it's no telling what else happened up there, right? But
Yeah.
we took this whole situation, this whole problem to him, and we actually turned in a situation where not only did we stop the foreclosure, but we was able to give him money at the end of the foreclosure as well. So he literally came down the aisle walking away with nothing, knowing that he was going to lose everything. 7 years of bad history on their credit, but
Yeah.
now we saved that completely.
Yeah, and then I mean, you were able to make a wholesale fee as well, right? So
Yes,
everyone wins. And
yes,
then so your end buyer purchased the home to turn into
yes.
a pad split?
Absolutely. We actually made a wholesale fee off of this. Me and a newbie, and shout out to Ashley Thomas. She actually came in marketing and everything, and she's doing very good. But me and a newbie actually made 19,500 off of this deal. And
Nice.
yes, yes,
That's
and
amazing.
she put in just as much work. Like I said, she was in there. She just said, "Hey, Heman, how can I stay involved?" And she actually came in and said, "I wanted to deal with the bank." So we were just behind the scenes guiding her and allowing her to deal with the process as well.
Yeah.
So 19.5. And then the biggest thing was still finding a property like this. Like, who can I put this type of property? 4,000 square foot home. This is definitely out of my league. This is something I'm not interested in, but at the same time, it's something for everybody, and we just have to find that right person.
Yeah.
So after going through a whole filter process, what we did was we came in and found an investor that had the perfect strategy that can not only keep up with the payments and make everything make sense as far as on the creative deal, but also so he can cash flow. And he actually cash flowed very well off of this property.
I bet.
And just to go into it as well, as far as what he did was he actually took a 4,000 square foot home and turned it into a 11-bedroom pad split. So
Crazy.
yes, yes, and they're blowing up out here in Dallas. And if you think about it, that affordable living, just being able to create something to give back, as far as this investor is creating opportunities for people because we already know what's happening. The rents,
Yeah.
mortgage, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your background. Like, how long have you been in the sub two community? How long have you been in real estate? Like, how did you get to where you are now that someone's bringing you leads because they know you're going to solve this problem?
Well, definitely, I would say I have to go back to the Air Force. The Air Force came back and gave me a lot of stability and everything, just learning how to manage everything. No matter what the problem is, we have to solve the problem. So, for a lot of problem solving skills came from them, but also just your everyday world. But the way I got into real estate, I actually always had a dream of getting into real estate, but I had a car dealership. So I started out with a yellow Cobalt. I still remember it, 2011 yellow Cobalt, and cranked that up and sold it and began flipping cars and turned it all the way to a dealership. But the real estate was like my ideal dream, and I just didn't know how to get there at the time. Door opened up for me right when COVID, the world slowed down, of course, and I had the chance to learn about underwriting, loan officer. So I actually became a loan officer in the state of Texas, and also
Okay.
began working with different banks as well. So I was actually an underwriter with a few different lenders as well. So this whole background actually gave me the perspective, of course, for Fannie, Freddie Mac, and just the whole guidelines. It really helps me out to where I'm at here. But I got into wholesale 2022, and how this all happened. And I found Pace. I found the whole sub two community. I really want to say it was like God, right? So it was more so one day I'm learning about wholesaling. The market is changing in the loan officer world. The refi craze just went down. So it's being able to pivot. So I seen an opportunity in wholesale. I ran my first leads, and I had so many leads, I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know how to close them, nothing. So 2022, I was reading different scripts, and I ran across Pace Morby's script. And literally that next day, I went in and I studied this thing like back and forth. And I went out and closed not one deal, but two deals. So Pace actually, his script, everything that was created allowed me to close those deals at the time. So immediately I jumped directly into the community. I said, I gotta put it back.
Drank the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
That's awesome. It's so interesting, like going back to how you started in a car dealership, buying cars,
Yes.
fixing them up,
Yes.
flipping them. I mean, essentially, you know, that's fix and flip in
is.
the real estate industry. And even if you don't sell them, if you can buy cars at enough discount and resell them, I mean, there you have your wholesaling, right? So you were already doing very similar actions to get you into wholesaling and real estate as a whole.
Yes, yes. And of course, you know, just like the cars and real estate, the only way that people will even listen or buy or give in to you is if you can solve their problem. So that's pretty much what I realized. It was the same thing, like you're saying, same process, same steps. It's all about the person that's coming in, the person that needs help in solving their problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you think the sub 2 community has played a part in your growth over the last 2 years of being involved with it?
Yes, sure. Definitely, I would say that the sub 2 community, just the being able, the information that's within, first of all, it's amazing. Not only that, you have resources, you have people. All you have to do is get out here and network and connect with people. I got my first deal by going and networking at Myron and Carolyn and Pauline's event. So, you know, I met Pam Clary. Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, they always push me, hey, you got to keep coming out. So I finally kept coming out, and I began to meet more and more people. Just to even go back, the person that actually put up all the walls in the past split and made everything happen was Rolando Tovar, another great relationship that I had created within. So when I say that everything that this whole sub 2 community has done for me, it's been more than mind blowing, more than amazing. And it's like everything that I learned so far, I wish I learned it way before my other business, because I never understood the power of networking until I finally came into this community.
Yeah, it's so true, you know, and with anything, right? So like I raise capital and people are like, how do you even start that conversation? I'm like, you just never know where a conversation is going to go, or where a referral is going to go, or you know, the person next to you, but then he knows 3 other people, right? Like it's just so powerful in one, networking, but also being able to go into a community like that and ask for help. And there's so many people who are just so willing to help.
Exactly. It is. It is. And I think that, you know, with me being a problem solver, of course, you know, a problem solver has to know people as well. So the more people I know, the more problems that can be solved. That's how I was looking at it.
Yeah. And I think too, with problem solving, you know, it's that you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? You don't know the how, but you're willing to put into the work and figure it out and help someone, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say in this deal in particular was something that either like surprised you or your biggest lesson learned?
I want to say that at the end of the day, the biggest lesson learned is those clients. You have to take your time with clients. I say, you know, what you hear over the phone might not be really what they're feeling, right? So, you know, it's kind of, I would say, just the communication, understanding what they're saying, how they're feeling, and knowing that it might be some deep down pain. So I would say learning how to be patient with somebody that wasn't really patient because of what they were going on. That was my biggest lesson. And you know, one thing that I learned the most. As far as just overall, I want to say that I was able to see a completely new process. Not only that, you know, as far as just me being an investor as well, sitting here learning and putting myself with different exit strategies, watching people, what they do, how they solve problems, finally get to seeing a pass split in play. And not only that, I got the guy to go and bring Rolando. He just did an 11-bedroom pass split. So I know that, you know, I went and saw his work. I mean, it's just amazing. So it's just bringing all these pieces together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting. People are always looking for that like hand holding kind of, when they're like, I just want my first deal. I'm like, you just need to do it. You need to get in it, and it needs to be uncomfortable, and you have to ask the questions while you're in it. And that is how you learn. That's how it becomes familiar, right? And now you know about pad split and how that's another option for maybe your next wholesale deal you find, which you didn't know before.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
So what's your goals for the rest of 2024? Just keep wholesaling. Do you buy and hold properties as well?
Well, I buy and hold. I would say that's not my MO. My MO is really just solving problems. I would say my biggest thing is I want to help as many people as possible every single month. My goal, if I could touch at least 20 people a month, and I say touch because I do have a team behind me as well that's with me. They're helping me, as far as keeping things organized and helping deals flow. And that's my biggest goal, to help as many people as possible that needs help.
That's amazing. And what would you say to someone who is thinking about joining the Sub 2 community?
Man, what is taking you so long? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. I would say this, at the end of the day, you'll know when to jump in. You know when your time is right, because anybody can throw you out there, right? But it's up to you to take this information and really, really do something with it. And I say this, I tell anybody that's new, that's coming in, find out who's actually doing stuff, who's actually taking action and making things happen, and just put yourself around them, because that's what I realized that I had to do as well. Find the movers, the shakers, and align myself and see how they operate.
Yeah. Let them keep expanding you, right?
Yes, because they will. And another thing, I'm sorry, I'm throwing a lot of in, but insurance, I actually am an insurance broker as well. So I wanted to say that even with this particular deal, I helped the investor get his insurance. And not only that, he's using me for every single property as well. So it's just a vertical integration. I love how you can do it. You learn something and you just keep on going.
Yeah. And that's the power of relationships, right? Because you also don't know now how many investor friends he or she has that's going to tell you like, hey, look at this deal I got on insurance, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yes. So all about solving problems.
Yeah. It's lots of fun. It's a roller coaster, right? I'm sure there were lots of highs and lots of lows, especially in a 6-month process. I can't imagine. Yeah.
And the video that was left, that he left, it was amazing, to see a client, because he really poured his heart out. And I wish I had it to play it, but there was a video that he sent to me and Ashley that closed the deal, helped them get it, and he was just very, very appreciative. So
oh wow,
to get those things and see it, sometimes it's not even the money. We was able to say the video was more important than anything.
Yeah. And the same thing, you don't know what he's going to go on to do or help because of what you and Ashley did for him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, so much fun. It was so nice to meet you. So nice to hear about your deal. Crazy times.
It is.
I'm sure you'll keep solving problems in the future, no doubt.
Sure will. I absolutely will.
Yeah.
But no, thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Let me jump back in here. Yes. Yeah. 11 bedrooms? What?
11.
Oh, wow, man.
I don't think I dropped out a number too. I want to say that it was projected to do $8,600 a month.
Wow.
Mortgage payments were $2,800 after it was on a 40-year amortization, so $2,800. So he's probably walking away with over $5,000 in cash flow.
5,000. Yeah. That's a nice. Crazy. Yeah, that's a nice little bag there. That's not bad.
I'm like, you find another one of those, and I'll be your buyer.
Man, absolutely. I'm gonna write you down now.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible, man. Thank you so much for being our guest today, man. It's been such a blessing. And as always, Jennifer, you're fantastic. Thank you. And of course, as always, I have to give these wonderful announcements. So this evening on Geek Creative Podcast, Pace will be on there, and he will be talking about the wonderful Squad Up Summit that just took place. And of course, I shouldn't go into too much detail about it, because I get all riled up because I had a great time. Of course, the audience doesn't know this Jennifer, but I had a chance of meeting Jennifer at Squad Up, and she was just so wonderful. Of course, I was being, the groupie and like, oh my guys, I'm in front of a rock star. But Jennifer was like, calm down, Derek. It's okay. I'm Jennifer. I'm the champion. How you doing? Let me solve your problems. So it was a good time. It was a good time. And also another announcement, this Thursday, Pace will be having a wonderful meetup in Scottsdale. So for more information on that, head over to where'space.com, and that begins at 7 p.m. All right. So it's been a real one with you guys. Take care.
Amazing. Bye.